What is up, everybody? Welcome to the MMA Engine. Going to be giving you guys my core plays for UFC London, my favorite 4 plays of the entire slate. Last week we did go 3-1, which is decent, but would like to go 4-0, and we'll hopefully do that here for UFC London. As always, if you guys can please leave a like on the video, subscribe here to the MMA Engine. Lots of content throughout the week. We also are going to be adding more content within the next couple weeks as well, so make sure you are subscribed here to the MMA Engine so you don't miss out on all of that. I say we get right into it. We have a banger of a card for UFC London here. Let's start with my favorite play of the slate. We have Ilia Topuria, 9,300. This is a guy that is now minus 550 on the money line, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think he absolutely wins, but my goodness, that's getting steep. But yeah, minus 550 inside the distance line of minus 225, which is one of the best on the entire slate. And I think this fight absolutely finishes. Fight doesn't go to decision is sitting at minus 400. You have Topuria with a 91% finish rate. Jai Herbert also with a 91% finish rate. And Herbert has also been finishing all 3 of his losses. 2 coming by knockout against Krinov and, believe it or not, Reese McKee. And then the other one coming by submission against Renato Moicano. And I am leaning towards the submission route here, as Topuria is going to have a massive advantage on the mat. I really don't think it's even close. I've seen Herbert taken down. I think on paper, within Herbert's first 3 fights, he has a 30% takedown defense, which is obviously not good. I think Topuria, there are some concerns in terms of him coming up a weight class. He's coming in on short notice. He's going to be the much smaller guy, but my goodness, I think if Herbert gets taken down here, he's going to get submitted. Topuria's ground game is absolutely no joke, and I just have not liked what I've seen in terms of the ground game off bottom from Jai Herbert. I mean, he lets his opponents get into dominant positions very easily. I think Topuria subs him within the first round here. So Topuria, 9,300, one of my favorite, if not my favorite play on the entire slate. Next, we have Nikita Krinov, 8,700. And yeah, Krinov has a 97% finish rate. The fight doesn't go to decision, is only minus 210. I actually think that should be much, much wider because, take a look at this. We talked about Krilov's finish rate of 97%. Paul Craig has a 100% finish rate. And this is not like a 10-fight sample, 15-fight sample. This is a 55-fight sample. These guys have finished, just about all their wins. Paul Craig's never won a decision. I think Krilov's won maybe 1 decision in his entire career. Krinov is an absolute finisher, and he absolutely can be finished. Krinov has been finished in 8 of his 10 losses, 5 by sub. That's concerning when you're going against Paul Craig here, 3 by knockout. But Paul Craig's been finished in all 4 of his losses, 3 by knockout, and 1 by submission as well. I think Krinov has all the tools to win here. I think if Krinov fights smart, tries to keep this on the feet, I think he can absolutely knock out Paul Craig. Paul Craig, I don't like the chin, and I think Krinov has a ton of power. I like Krinov to win here quite a bit, but this is a fight that it's going to have to be targeted. Somebody is absolutely getting finished here, but give me Krinov here. I think he's going to have an advantage on the feet. I'm hoping he keeps it on the feet and knocks out Paul Craig, but if this fight hits the mat, Craig's going to be live for that sub. So a fight, I'm going to have both sides up, but I really think this is a very important fight in terms of potentially being the optimal lineup this week at this $8,700 price tag. All right, kind of a weird one here. We have Mike Grundy, 8,500, another guy in the mid-range, and I think the 9K range is going to be very high-owned, and rightfully so. This is probably one of the most stacked 9K ranges I've seen in a while. I like everybody in the 9K range. So I think a lot of these guys are going to go a little bit under-owned here, including a Mike Grundy at 8,500. And I think this fight as a whole is a very sneaky one to target. I think this fight's going to have a lot of wrestling upside, grappling upside. And Mike Grundy's a very good wrestler. Obviously, he averages 3.78 takedowns per 15 minutes. And I think an important point in this fight is he's going to have the better cardio. I don't like the cardio, but I like the cardio for Mike Grundy compared to Makwan Amarikani here. And I also think Grundy has some sneaky power in his hands. We saw him knock out Nad Narimani in his UFC debut. We have seen Makwan dropped a lot in the UFC. He's been knocked out a couple times as well. Sneaky potential knockout upside for Mike Grundy, but most importantly, the wrestling upside, the grappling upside. I think there's going to be a lot of that in this fight. I do lean towards the Mike Grundy side, but this is a fight, like I said, as a whole, I think is a very good chance of scoring very, very well and at very, very low ownership. So yeah, give me Mike Grundy here to win, and 8,500. I think I like it there. And then finally, the last core play, we have Gunnar Nelson, 9,200. And yeah, there's some red flags with Gunnar Nelson. He has not fought in 2 years, but he's going to have such a good matchup here. If we get anywhere near the version of Gunnar Nelson we've seen, a couple years ago, this dude just fought, Gilbert Burns and Leon Edwards his last 2 fights a few years back. If we get the same version of Gunnar Nelson, I think he runs through Sato here. He's going to have a massive grappling edge. He has a 94% finish rate. Sato's been finished in all 4 of his losses, and 3 of those do come by submission. Yeah, I just think he's levels above Sato on the mat. Sato's been submitted twice in the UFC, and then once outside the UFC. And I think if Gunnar Nelson gives it down just one time, I think the fight's going to be over shortly after. But yeah, this is definitely a high risk, high reward here with Nelson. We don't know which Nelson's going to show up. We don't know if he's going to be rusty. He's taken a long year off, or long layoff off, and I do not know why. I'm not sure why. Was it injuries? I don't know. I really don't know. So if he comes back and looks like himself, man, he should smoke Takashi Sato pretty easily there. So just to quickly recap, I love Ilia Topuria, 9,300, probably my favorite play in the 9K range. Nikita Krinov, somebody's getting finished here, 8,700. I like it. Mike Grundy, sneaky fight to target here. I do lean towards the Grundy side. And then Gunnar Nelson, 9,200, high risk, high reward. I think he should absolutely smoke Sato if he does come back and look himself there. So if that's about it, guys, those are my core plays, the plays I'm going to be heaviest on this week. Leave a like, subscribe to the MMA Engine YouTube channel. It does help out a ton. We're going to keep bringing that content, adding new content, and do appreciate all the support. That's about it, guys. Good luck for UFC London, and we'll talk to you soon.